What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to talk about the new trailer for the Love of Marriage Huntsville season 8. And baby, I'm here for the mess. It is messy. Listen, they brought on some new couples. I feel like, Melody is just elevating. She's doing her thing. And unfortunately, um, Love and Marriage Huntsville, the cast has gotten a little bit litigious. So what I'm going to do is just recap the facts, but I'm definitely here for them bringing like Destiny back. I mean, if she likes it, I love it. But let's go ahead and get into the trailer, right? So it starts off with talking about, harassing communication, which ultimately got Martell Holt put behind bars. Okay, so that's they're recording everybody's reactions. Stormy is showing Courtney uh his mugshot and everything on her phone, and the men are essentially, they're trying to take up for their brother, right? They're trying to say, okay, well, sending text messages doesn't count, I guess, in their eyes as domestic violence, right? But the law said, otherwise, right? Especially if this is dealing with the revenge P that he was threatening. So then he's talking with, Maurice and Marcel about going on Tasha K and doing that interview. And they're asking him, like, well, why would you do that? He said, well, she got me arrested, like she got me arrested. And in my mind, I'm thinking, no, Martell, you got yourself arrested because if you break the law and you threaten to, reveal this revenge P on your ex-wife and break the law, they didn't lock you up for nothing. You know what I mean? Like filing false charges, I think is a crime as well. But they're not going to put you behind bars for nothing. And so the fact that no, Melody didn't get you locked up. You got yourself locked up. But they're talking with Marcel, and he's like, well, I've gone through, similar, but I just didn't get a divorce. So I'm wondering if him and Tisha are going to open up and share a little bit of their lives, their overcoming their struggles, being a little bit more transparent. Because as far as I know, the Scotts are just like the driest couple on the show. I mean, people can't even tell if Black is, still open or not. Marcel got on live, I think, a few days ago and said, well, y'all just come on down and see. Okay, ain't nobody got the time or the gas money for that. So either you get it together, let us know, or, bump it. Like people are just like, okay, moving on. So Stormy brings her friend on the show, and well, let me back up a bit, right? Because Martell is playing, football catch with Chris Fletcher in the yard. And Martell was basically saying that, his wife Nell was a side chick when they met. And Chris was like, no, she was never a side chick. But then the camera pans to Nell and she said, was he married? She said, yes. She said, did I know that? She was like, no. And so Melody is like, well, do you think that that's a trait of Chris's? And she's like, I don't know. You're going to have to take that up with him. And I feel like ever since Mel and Martell have divorced, not that they've been attacking other people's marriage, but I feel like they are hyper aware of the timeline of when people got together, right? They were first it was, Chris or not Chris, sorry, Kimmy and Maurice, right? Like when exactly did they get together? And people they kind of danced around that question, like was he still married to Kiowa or what was going on? Now it's moved on to Chris Fletcher and Nell. I feel like that was so long ago. I mean, especially with Chris and Nell, child. That was what, decades ago? Like, why would they, pry and do all these things? If I was Nell, I would be like, listen, we've been married for 50, 11 years by now, and nothing is going to tear us apart, and we're not going anywhere. So let's move on. I mean, it's unfortunate that Martell and Melody's marriage didn't work out, but that doesn't really affect other people's marriages. Okay, so speaking of Nell, they're dancing in the club, and Tisha comes up and she's just trying to be antagonistic, right? Like she's like, Linnell. And Nell's like, no, I'm Nell. Like, call her what she wants to be called. And then she like puts her hands on her and Nell snatches her hand away. And Tisha's like, don't do that. Listen, Tisha, you're not Miss Wanda. Okay. Stop trying to antagonize, especially, Nell. She don't seem to bother anybody except maybe, her kids. But stop trying to get a rise out of her. I need Tisha to just, at this point, I mean, I just really want her to do better. Stop trying to haze and antagonize, Nell. She's not trying to start anything with you. I guess because she said that she was her mentor online, and that's what made Tisha get upset. Listen, Nell's a better one than me because I'll be like, listen, baby, if I was your mentor, your businesses would be viable. I've ran my own daycare center for the past 20 plus years. I don't have pending lawsuits. She's a good one because if she grabbed my arm like that and tried to, not call me what I wanted, if I wanted to be called whatever, nickname that I want to be called, I'm grown and I want to be called that. And if you don't call me that, then you're being disrespectful. And I would read her for filth. Like, okay, well, my husband he has his own business. He's doing well. My business is doing well. If I was your mentor, you guys would be doing a lot better. So clearly I'm not. Speaking of, so Melody sits down with Marcel again. I don't know why she goes back and forth with him all the time. Speaking of antagonistic, that's what they have in common. Marcel and Tisha love to get a rise out of people. They are like that cousin that, pokes you or like, says, I'm not touching you. I'm not, like, just real immature. That's exactly what they have in common. They are absolutely made for one another because they're going back and forth talking about Martell. And, he's like, well, that's the man you chose. She's like, well, that's the friend you chose. Child, all the conversations with Mel and Marcel are exactly the same to me. They're just picking at each other back and forth. Okay, moving on. Okay, this is where we get into the nitty gritty of the trailer, in my opinion. So Letitia is the young lady on the left, and Stormy introduces her to Martell, and they're acting real sus. And so she's like, y'all act like y'all are, you've known each other before. And they're like, well, possibly maybe a friend from school. So then when they're at the gym, she's like, I mean, if, we did, I mean, he invited me to his house. And Stormy's like, what? She's like, I mean, if I did go to his house, listen, we grown, we gonna do what grown folks do. So the word on the curb, the gag is the gentleman that she's taking a picture with is her boyfriend. But I've heard several people allege, right? Because y'all know Love of Marriage Huntsville is litigious and I ain't got it. But allege that she's still married, as well as messing with Martell, going over to his house, one of his, many locations, because he likes to move a lot, allegedly, according to the court documents. And I'll get to that in a minute, or in a separate video, because I don't want this to be too long. But Letitia is, she seems to be a very interesting new character. So I definitely feel like Carlos King brought her on to shake it up. I'm looking forward to it. Last but not least, Destiny. Oh my goodness. Y'all remember that from Martin Lawrence, Thin Line Between Love and Hate, when him and Regina King were outside. Destiny, baby girl. The way that I would have, you could not have paid me. Well, Carlos King, Winter said they only got paid up to $2,500. $25,000 would not have been enough money for me to come on this show, nationally syndicated television show on the Oprah Winfrey Network, and confront a married man as to why he did not choose me to be his wife. This is not Sex in the City. This is not why did you not choose me? This is not the Pick Me Olympics, baby girl. This man is married, okay? And people are going to do what they're going to do. Carlos, I don't, does he have something on you? Like the way that I would have never, I would have been kicking and screaming and like the IRS, the dang old CIA couldn't have got me to confront this man talking about some you said that we was gonna name our hypothetical son Justice. What? Miss Ma'am, what are you talking about? Then she was at Martell's house and he was pouring her wine, talking about her baby looked like him. And he said, well, here, have some more wine. Martell is you know what Martell said? I'm single. I'm ready to mingle with the Inez wine. Yes, the season is, is absolutely messy. And I'm here for the mess. Y'all, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you here for it? I am. I'm going to be recapping this this season because this is a mess and a half. And Carlos paying people more money. They definitely earning it more than $2,500. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'll talk with you later. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, aces. Bye.